Yes, those boxes of books sat there for well over a week. And honestly, I think if I had not said in my last vlog that you guys need to shame me if you see them in my next vlog, then I probably would have just left them sitting there for another week. I took them to storage. I still don't know where to donate them. I need to make some phone calls. I'm gonna start with my local library and see if they're interested. Anyway, it's on my to-do list, I swear. So today is a gloomy and cold day here in Texas, which is honestly kind of nice. I could do with a little sun, but I'm reminding myself again, in like a month, we're all going to be in hell weather-wise, and I need to soak in this cold air as much as I can. So yeah, it's Tuesday. It is my designated flow state day, but I think for me at least, I have kind of cracked a little code for flow state, which obviously is dictation. I've been talking about it for weeks now, and I'm gonna stick with that today. Here's the thing that I'm kind of curious to experiment with. I know multitasking is BS, and I have talked about like the whole deep work thing before, focusing on one task and really getting into it and how important that is, and multitasking is like the opposite of that. That said, dictation does kind of free you up to do other things that don't require a lot of like, you know, mental focus while you write. Like doing dishes or doing a little light cleaning, just walking around, getting little things done. Laundry, I did laundry while I did dictation last week. I mean, it kind of works, right? Is it taking a little bit of focus away from my book? Maybe, but I think it's also helping me not to think too hard and really be overly critical of my first draft. So it's kind of working for me. And something that I really want to do today is, I have kind of mentioned this, you know, when I talk about doing that Final Cut course, and I've just been getting more and more into taking like little filmmaking courses or watching tutorials and watching video editing stuff. And I want to start playing with my SLR camera a little bit more in my vlogs and in my videos. So I will show you guys right now. The camera I usually use for filming all my videos is a Canon G7X Mark III. There you are. Hi. And it works great. It's very easy to use and I like it very much, but we do own, you know, back in a previous life, I was a travel and food writer, blogger, and I did get a really nice Nikon SLR. I do not remember the model. It's really old. It doesn't have a flip screen, so I can't see myself when I'm filming, which is honestly the main reason I haven't been using it. And then Josh does astrophotography. We have a lot of, not a lot, but we have a decent camera collection. We have a Nikon body and some kind of Canon body and a bunch of lenses, and even though some of them are a little bit older and maybe some of them are better for photography and not for video, I want to play with them a little bit. And I'm thinking maybe today as I do my dictation, I might pull the cameras out and take a look at what I have and, I don't know, see what I can do with it. So multitasking, is that multitasking? It kind of is, whatever. And one other thing that I do have to do today, I'm very excited about this. So this is related, I promise. The mid-list series that I did the previous 2 Mondays about saving the mid-list and why the mid-list is dying, man, on the second video in particular, the comments you guys left just warmed my black, dead, and withered soul. And it was just so overwhelmingly positive and reminded me that, you know, people really do care about books and authors. And if you made the mistake of saying, if you ever do this, I volunteer, blah, 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 your name is on my list. I'm keeping track of all this. If I ever do get any of this stuff off the ground, if I ever even just start a Discord, or is that what it's called? Or, you know, a Slack or whatever for people to like meet and plan, then you're going to be getting notified from me. So you're warned. But anyway, so I actually had a follow-up video to that I wanted to put up this past Monday. but I had to put it off for a very exciting reason, and that reason is that I reached out to a person who works at and has worked at one of the big five for years. I'm going to be real vague about this person. And they agreed to have a chat with me about a lot of this stuff and kind of explain the system and why things work the way they do over there. And we are talking today at 3:30, and I'm going to get to use what we talked about in next Monday's video, which I guess you will see in 3 days. So super excited about that. This person knows their stuff. And when I reached out to them, I was like, I want to talk about specific things, like when a house makes an offer to an author who is at auction and they promise lead title status, and then 6 months down the line they pull that status. From the author's point of view, it feels like we were just baited to signing a contract. But I know not everybody in publishing is like an insidious villain, so can you explain to me what's actually going on there? And they are going to talk me through like what it looks like on that side. So anyway, that's today. Just gonna be talking to you guys, checking out my old cameras, doing piddly tasks around the apartment, and dictating my book. One last thing, my goal for this week, I think I am 3 scenes away from the midpoint, so the halfway point of this book, which is good because I'm also at 45,000 words. And I'm kind of hoping that's because Act 1 is longer than it needs to be, because I don't want this book to come close to 100,000. It doesn't need to be that long, right? Yeah. So my goal is, today's Tuesday, I want to hit that midpoint, get through that midpoint scene, and be into Act 2B, Bad Guys Close In, by Thursday afternoon. So let's see if we can make that happen. All right, let's get to work. There's a puppy. Rose is freaking out. Look at the tiny puppy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hi. I am totally being creepy and spying on my neighbor. Sorry, neighbor, I won't show your face. And this is what happens when you forget to turn off your microphone. Okay, so not gonna lie, that was not the best writing session. I got 1,500 words, which is great because that was only about, I don't know, half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. But it started out really good. The scene actually turned into something I wasn't expecting. Like, something happened that was not in the beat sheet at all, and it was cool, and I was excited, and I was trying to run with it, but looking through all this stuff and like thinking about how I would use it, you know, in future videos, it was distracting. This is not the same as doing laundry or doing the dishes while I write. So yeah, multitasking is BS. I can't do these two things at once. And then I got to a frustrating place with the scene because I didn't know where to go with it. And I finished it, but I summarized it. I kind of zero drafted it. It's not like the last page or two of the scene. It's not first draft quality. And that is even really low. It's like real low quality. I just summed up a bunch of crap and I was like, let's just move on because I don't know what else to do with this. And that kind of put me in a not a great place with this book, where it just kind of hit me, as it does multiple times a day, how much work it's going to be to turn it into anything I would ever let anyone read once this draft is done, because it's so funny. You do so much work brainstorming and outlining or making beat sheets or whatever, and it still just feels so half-baked. You know, I feel like every time I step back and I look at this draft or think about it, I feel like I opened the oven too early and pulled out a cake and it's like sinking in the middle and still gooey batter. It's just, it's not good. It's not good. Can you write the rest for me? Yeah? Okay. So anyway, I think what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to make some hot coffee because all I've had is my cold brew and I need some hot coffee. And kind of take a break, and then I'll get back to dictation and we'll just see how the rest of the morning goes. But no more of this multitasking crap. I'm either going to focus on camera, vlog, video stuff, or I'm going to focus on dictation. But yeah, that didn't work. Failed experiment. Okay, so I had printed out the zero draft of that scene so that I could just walk around and not be looking at my screen, and I got through it. There's some funny stuff in there, but I would say I'm like feeling 20% enthusiastic about what I wrote today and 80% just all the doubts about this book. But writing in my notebook and just like writing out what's bothering me about it right now, that did help a little bit. It helped me to power through. So my total word count for this morning, it's almost 11, 3,500 words. I hit a good stopping place. I have 2 scenes to go. The last fun and game scene and then the midpoint scene. And then we'll be into the second half of Act 2. So, you know, my goal is to hit that Thursday, and I think I'm gonna call it for today because I'm just feeling a little bit frustrated. And you know, it's just that feeling that you get where you've done so much climbing and you feel so accomplished and you're so high up, and then you look up and realize how much more of the mountain there is to go. And I don't mean in terms of the length of the draft, because I know I'm close to halfway there, but like after that is gonna be a whole other process of really borderline rewriting this thing just to get it into any kind of shape to send to beta readers. And then I'm sure I will have loads more revising work to do. It's just such a process. And sometimes, you know, as much as I talk about how it is a process and that's okay, it just does get you down sometimes. And another thing is that I am used to books going faster for me. I'm used to ghostwriting books faster because I have such a good outline, and I have to constantly remind myself of this because I'm working with someone else who is giving me ideas. And right now, you know, I'm back to just, it's been a while doing this all me. It's all my idea, all my book, only my brain, and it just takes a lot longer. So anyway, we will check back in tomorrow and see if we can get at least one more scene in, and then one more scene Thursday, and then we'll be at the midpoint. All right, I'll be back tomorrow. 52,253 words, and I am at the midpoint. I should be happier. Yesterday was great. Yesterday was Wednesday. I got 2,500 words in, finished a scene. Today I was not in the mood to write, I'm not gonna lie, for a lot of reasons, but I did it. I got that last scene written. This was the midpoint scene. I got to write a big twist that I've been excited about for a while, and that was fun. Genuinely, I ended up enjoying writing this scene. But I'm at 52,000 words and I'm only halfway through this book. Guys, I don't want to write a 100,000 word book. Why? Why couldn't this have been middle grade? Why? And the thing that's really kind of getting me is that, one, I don't tend to overwrite. That overwriting is something I used to do, like in the first several years of my writing journey, but in the last few years, I have become an underwriter. My first drafts are sparse, and then I have to go through and beef them up. And honestly, I like that better. And I don't understand what's happening here, because if I hadn't been looking at the word count this whole time, I would have told you that this draft is underwritten so far. I feel like I'm missing so much. I feel like there's not nearly enough description of world building stuff. The whole fantasy B-story thing is so underdeveloped, it's insane. The side characters, there are moments in scenes where like their personalities and cool things about who they are as people are coming through, and I can see them kind of starting to shine, but there's so much more I need to do with them. Where are all these words coming from? Is this like, I don't know. I mean, a lot has happened in the plot, but I don't know. I feel like I've skimmed over a lot of stuff at the same time. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if this is like a result of dictation, which I haven't been doing since the beginning of the draft. That's just a recent thing. Maybe I'm like being too verbose when it comes to just being in Logan's head and her emotions, although that's definitely not a problem I've had in the past. Who am I? What am I writing? What is this? I don't know what's going on. I don't understand why this book is so long, but it is what it is. I mean, I'll deal with it when I get to the end. I'm still just gonna keep plugging through this first draft, but I'm not gonna lie. Right now, I am happy it's Thursday, because I do tend to take a break on weekends from writing, and I really need one right now. I need to just step back and look at my notes that I've taken and really focus on the good things. I've been trying to kind of take my temperature with this idea and gauge whether, when I don't feel like working on it or when I'm feeling really doubtful about it, is it that there are genuine issues with the story that mean it's just not working, or is it just that typical writer doubt sets in halfway through a draft? And I think it's the latter. I think it's just typical doubts. I don't think it's the book itself, because when I step back and think about what initially excited me about this book and why I wanted to write it so much, all of those things still really excite me. And there are still a lot of things in this draft that I really, really love. There are just so many problems. Okay. I don't even know how I feel about this. I want to be happy and celebrate that I'm at the midpoint, but I'm just looking at that word count and I can't believe I'm only halfway there. Real quick, I meant to show you guys this on Tuesday when I was vlogging and I forgot, but check this out. CO Savvy made me a dragon balloon GIF. Is that not the cutest thing you've ever seen? Also, she taught me how to create GIFs in Canva, because I thought I was really good at Canva, but I didn't know how to do this, and it's awesome. So thank you, CO. I love that. I'm going to keep it open, and hopefully it's going to make me, I don't know, feel a little more motivated and happier this weekend when I think about this book. Anyway, so I hope you guys have a really wonderful weekend, and I will see you Monday with a video. It's gonna be a lot. See you then.